next, all ground outs. Matthew with a little bouncer back to the pitcher. The other two to the shortstop, so they'll be looking to change that result. Corners for AWP. It's Francisco Lombardo in maybe a step or two from third. Likewise, his counterpart, Cisco Sabate. Little check swing off the fence on the left side. Matthew, 6 hits, 22 at bats thus far in the season.
El pitcher cogiendo las señales de su queche con mucha calma. Se limpia.
Shows bunt but doesn't, and Allstat not able to pick it up cleanly. The two of them, Diaz and Allstat, don't seem to be in sync. We've seen a mishandling a couple, 3 times. So with base runners aboard, that will add to the advantage for the offense. Wah, a member of the home run club already for the Gremlins in the 2023 season. They have 12 as a club. 3 of those, Zenon Winters. Evans. 2 of them, Zenon Winters. Little roller up to first base. Looked like it went off his foot, or that's certainly the appearance. He stays right in the batter's box. Sell, sell, sell. I wasn't sure myself on that one. Let's see the replay maybe. We'll catch it next time. Yeah, still hard to tell. And we have the best seat in the house right here behind home plate. Our friend Luciano Lofrano working the controls for Softball Premier TV. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes Wah. Third strikeout on the day. Here's the replay. Just a great location down and in on Matthew Wah. So that'll bring Jerome Remaki to the plate. Jerome retired on a 6-3 putout in his first trip.
Por segunda vez, 4-3 en el primero. Le iba a tirar, aguantó afuera el lanzamiento.
Diaz looking in to say, where was that one? Just a little bit off the plate outside. Very different game than we had on Friday night against the Lumberjacks and the Gremlins. Of course, with 8 walks, it seemed like every inning the Gremlins had men on base. That puts a lot of pressure on your defense, keeps the offense up as well. But the Gremlins seem to be in control of that one right now, pretty even in this 2-2 game. The Gremlins came into the game as the #1 team in the world, into the tournament. AWP at number 8, so they're among the top 10 squads in the country.
Preparado el pitcher cogiendo las señales de su queche con mucha calma. La base limpia. Alto el lanzamiento.
Off the top of the screen for a ball.
El partido 2-1. Ganando la Kennedy. El único equipo que tiene jugador internacional. 7 países están ahí en la Kennedy. 11. Ok. Hay de Venezuela, de México, hasta de Cuba hay un argentino, japonés, dominicano. Preparado Marcos.
Ramaki with that wide open stance. That one off the plate outside, and Jerome works the walk with 1 out, so he'll head down to first base. Benny Noco will step in. Benny with 7 hits already on the season, one of those a triple. Also a member of that home run club for the Gremlins.
Enoco es el bateador, corredor en primera, 1 out. Preparado Marcos Díaz en el pitching ball.
That one's in for a called strike.
El primero lleva 1. Enoco batea por segunda vez. Falló en el primer turno.
Evans and Winters responsible for 5 of the team's 12 home runs, but the other 7 spread amongst a whole group of players, all with 1 home run. So power from top to bottom. No weak spots in that batting order as a pitcher. You don't get that help down in the 7, 8, 9 spots. They just keep coming.
Los Gremlins de New York Dogs. Preparado de nuevo Marcos.
Off the plate outside.
Poquito afuera. Poco de controlado aquí Marcos Díaz. Topo 15. Corredor en primera, 1-0. Preparado Marcos Díaz en el pitching box, cogiendo la señal de su catcher. Bueno, se sale ahí.
Esta es la Supercopa Peligro Sport en su 24ª temporada, dándole a todos ustedes los mejores partidos de softball molinete del mundo en un solo escenario.
High hopper picked up by the pitcher Diaz, turns and throws to second for the force out. Good defensive play, good reaction time by the big fellow. You'll see it on the replay. He stands about 6'4" or thereabouts and can certainly cover a lot of ground. There it is, just turns and pivots. The throw to second for the out. Good slide out there by Jerome Raymaki, making sure that they didn't have a chance for 2. Benny over at first now on the fielder's choice. It'll be Eric Ochoa. Ochoa, a strikeout victim, his first trip to the plate.
Ochoa es el bateador. Una información de Peligro Sport.
Off to the races goes Inoka. He's got second stolen easily on a little pop-up slide.
Tomándole el tiempo aquí el equipo de New York Gremlins a Marcos Díaz aquí para
Good heads-up base running by Benny Inoka with the 2 outs in the inning, trying to put himself in scoring position. Ochoa now looking to bring home the go-ahead run.
Si hay cualquier movimiento de Ochoa, un palo que pueda aquí colocarle entre dos, puede venir la carrera de desempate.
Allsted behind the plate, a little trouble handling the ball, or just doesn't seem like he's in sync with Diaz from time to time. So watch Benny moving up or trying to move up if that happens. Benny, a veteran of 5 World Championship cycles, but still runs like a rookie. That one bounces to the screen, gets away. Inoka over to third now. So wild pitch puts Inoka at third. Home plate very close to the backstop, so it will take a carom that kicks sideways to give Inoka a chance on a pass ball situation or wild pitch. Most of the time the ball just comes right back to the catcher. Swing and a miss by Ochoa late on that one.
Nada fácil. Partido patado a 7 innings.
Outfielders playing straightaway depth, so just about anything on the grass is going to score Inoka. There's a line drive, but it stays up in the air a little bit too much, and Turkelson grabs it for the final out. Gremlins unable to get Inoka home in the inning. No runs, no hits. 1 man left to the top half of the 4th inning we go. The score still tied at 2. Top half of the fourth inning for AWP. We see a pitching change for the New York Gremlins. It'll be the young Australian Jack Bestgrove coming on in relief of Pablo Migliavaca. Bestgrove has been impressive, to say the least, thus far in the early season. A new face, a new arm to the circuit. No one has really seen or had a chance to face him very often already, and he has been something. 44 strikeouts against just 6 walks. He's 3-0 on the season. Notched a big semifinal win against the number 2 ranked Niagara Stompers in the Chiefs Challenge. And then a 16 strikeout performance on opening night here. Francisco Lombardo is the hitter. Grounds that one foul up along the left side. You'd have to call that one a strategic move on the part of the Gremlins. It was Lombardo that went deep for the 2-run homer, so the skipper deciding to give him a different look with Jack Bestgrove. All the left-hander has done in the last couple of World Championship rounds, a gold medal, pitching Australia's men's team to a world title, and a year later with the 23 and under did the same thing for them. So a couple of gold medals hanging in the living room of his home. In his young career, he's just 20 years of age.
Una información de Peligro Sport, preparado, cogiendo las señales de su queche con mucha calma.
Swing and a miss on the rise ball. Lombardo late on that one, so first strikeout of the game for Bestgrove. Migliavaca had 5, so it's a total of 6 on the day thus far. That one the first for Bestgrove. It'll bring Cisco Sabate to the plate. Sabate a ground out to third base. On the outside edge as he paints the stripe. A study in contrast between Migliavaca and Bestgrove. Bestgrove mostly hard stuff. He'll throw the change. Migliavaca relying very often on that changeup. So looking at the scorebook probably won't help you in terms of where the hitters might go.
El pitcher cogiendo las señales de su queche con mucha calma. Hay un out, la base limpia, parte alta del cuarto episodio. 2 carreras por bando.
High hopper, that one's foul over the dugout on the first base side. Bestgrove with a great chance to study alongside the arm, so to speak, of Andrew Kirkpatrick, longtime member of that Australian national team. So lefty senior and lefty junior, so to speak. Swing and a miss late on that one, way late, is Sabate. So 2 quick strikeouts, and Jack Bestgrove doing exactly what the Gremlins wanted. The batter for AWP will be Juan Vala, the center fielder. He was a strikeout victim his first trip to the plate, that coming against Pablo Migliavaca. Grounder foul over on the left side. Great mechanics by the young left-hander, very smooth. You see him with that lean way back, taking the body weight, and then everything comes shifting forward. The toe of that left foot coming up high and then follows through. There's the changeup.
Saludo especial para Freddy Peligro. Patrullando ahí, manteniendo la cabina de transmisión activa. Así es, Freddy y los demás muchachos.
Change up again on the outside edge, just missing away.
Artillería pesada de la tienda Peligro Sport. Para que todo de espalda, ellos saben. Preparado de nuevo el pitcher, cogiendo la señal de su queche con mucha calma.
Shows bunt but doesn't. That one a little curve coming in on the right-hander, in for a called strike.
Bueno, ahora sí estoy mirando para los lados, se fueron todos. El pitcher cogiendo la señal de su catcher con mucha calma. Hay 2 outs.
Way inside and
Le
hits
voy ahí
him.
para el bateador.
Not the pitch that Bestgrove wanted, but 2 outs as Vaya takes his place down at first. Let's see it here.
Sí, aprovechar ahí la oportunidad, seguir a la primera base.
There's the replay on it. Looked like he was trying to just come inside and a little bit too far. So Vala aboard at first with 2 outs. The batter is Carlos Colmenares. Carlos, one of the 5 strikeout victims for Migliavaca. Just off the plate outside.
Bueno, un debol ahí, coloca corredor en primera. 2 outs para el equipo de Lumberjacks. Lo que podría ser la ventaja si hay movimiento, si hay acción.
Foul straight back to the screen. Just missed that one.
Peligro Sport 2200 de Amsterdam Avenue que te presenta esta maravillosa Copa Peligro, su 24ª temporada, la cual está dedicada a Roberto Rojas de la Bala, candidato a diputado de Ultramar.
El pitch Groves, preparado.
Way upstairs with a rise ball, so a little bump in the road for Jack, just not throwing the ball in the location he wants.
Bestgrove. Dice atrás, el uniforme. Jack es el lanzador, preparado el pitcher, lanza.
Little curve on the outside edge, off the plate outside. Pitchers will tell you it's always different throwing in a tournament later on. Day 2, day 3. This is the 3rd day these players have been out here. The arm gets a little bit tight. Just takes a while to get back in that groove. 2 hopper backing up as Evans goes to second. The short way for the out. Looked like he might have been caught in between hops, but very steady out there as Cole Evans gets the force out. Colmenares with the fielder's choice in the side retired. No runs, no hits. Man left to the home half of the 4th we go. 2-2 tie. New York Gremlins and AWP from DeCoin, Illinois. Home half of the 4th inning for the Gremlins. It'll start things off with Zenon Winters. He'll be followed by Brian Avery and Cole Evans. Trying to break this 2-2 tie. Marco Diaz in the circle for the Lumberjacks. He was the starter and still in the game. Pitching much better than he did on opening night Friday when his team dropped a 6-3 game to these very same Gremlins. Sails one over the head of Winters. Winters doesn't seem phased. Winters among the very hottest hitters that the Gremlins have had in this young season. Time called by Winters. Tied for the lead in hits with 8. Tied for the lead in RBIs with 7. Swing and a foul tip. Just missed that one. Right back to the screen.
Guantes, bates y pelotas, además todo tipo de uniforme Peligro Sport. También en Santiago, Plaza Marín y frente al home. Peligro Sport.
Marcos Díaz en el pitching box, cogiendo las señales de su queche con mucha calma.
Foul tip as Zenon continues to hack away.
Peligro Sport 2200 de Amsterdam Avenue, recordándole a todos ustedes que esta es la Supercopa Peligro Sport en su 24ª temporada y por aquí tenemos ya los premios para regalar o para dárselo a los campeones de esta Supercopa.
So advantage Diaz here, 1-2 on Winters, but he's making contact on virtually every pitch. The 1-2 pitch lays off the low one, 2-2.
Para Winter, 2 carreras por bandos el partido hasta el momento. El Lumberjack 2, los New York Gremlins 2. Cuenta para el bateador 2-2. Preparado Marcos Díaz en el pitching box, cogiendo la señal de su cancha con mucha calma. Le iba a tirar con todo.
In for a call, third on the inside part of the plate. Zenon didn't think so, has a quick word with our home plate umpire. 1 out recorded. We'll let you take a look at the replay and see what you think.
Va Winter. No le gustó el lanzamiento, pero al árbitro sí.
So 1 out in the inning. It's Brian Avery stepping in. He was a strikeout victim himself last time in his only at bat of the game thus far.
Bateando por segunda vez ante este pitcher, Marcos Díaz, en este partido. 2-2 la cuenta. Parte baja del cuarto inning. Preparado Marcos Díaz.
Foul tip off the overhang of the screen. 4 strikeouts in the game for Diaz thus far.
Gana una carrera 2-1. Pero esa fue la última información. Cuando llegue más información estaremos dándonos a ustedes para que estén pendientes.
Little change up on the outside part of the plate, taken for a ball.
Alto el lanzamiento.
Diaz argues for the strike, but that one's not going to change. The outfield straight away, pretty much the center fielder and right fielder just a bit towards the foul line in right. So the gap is in left center field. Avery, good power, already 7 hits in the young season. High hopper. They'll have to hurry. Not in time to get Avery. Second baseman Cody Panebecker, nothing he could do but wait for the ball to come down. Let's watch the replay. You'll see how high the ball bounced. He knew it would be close and he hurried, but Avery doing a good job of hustling down the line. So infield single for Bryan. That'll bring Cole Evans to the plate. Evans, the leader in home runs on the team with 3, tied for the RBI lead with 7. There are no less than 5 Gremlin players with 7 RBIs. Swing and a miss on a rise ball. A good pitch by Diaz. Good location. Varmatosian over in the first base coach's box. The skipper Greg Leather down at third. Another pitch that Alstead can't handle, and Avery helps himself to 60 feet of real estate on the pass ball.
Una vez más se le complica la situación aquí a Díaz, pero ahorita pudo salir del problema en el charco donde se encontraba. Vamos a ver cómo le va en esta oportunidad, porque con este corredor que corre bien también, porque llegar a la primera ahí, el Machugún fue bien alto, pero fue un rápido el disparo. Pero ahora se roba, bueno, se le va la pelota al catcher y oportunidad que aprovechó y llegó a segunda. Sigue el partido emocionante de este lado, 2-2.
Preparado Marcos Díaz en el pitching box, cogiendo la señal de su cancha con
The pitch to Evans. Foul tipped over on the left. 2-2 tie in this one. Semifinal matchup. The other one going on at the other field. The number 2 ranked Niagara Stompers taking on Team Kennedy, who came away a winner. Right now in that one, it looks like Team Kennedy on top by a 2-1 score in the 4th inning. Swing and a miss on that one. So 2 strikeouts in the inning for Marco Diaz, 5 on the day, and it'll be up to Ladislav Malarchuk to try and put his team on top with 2 outs and runner in scoring position. It was Ladislav back in the 2nd inning with that 2-run single that tied the game.
Ladislao es el bateador. Hay 2 out, corredor en segunda. Preparado Marcos Díaz, se va la bola. Va
Well
para
off the plate, over to third goes Avery on the wild pitch.
Malo ahí del papón aquí del derecho Díaz. Aprovecha el corredor, se va hacia la tercera base, mucho más cerca aquí la potencial carrera del desempate para el equipo de New York Gremlins.
Hay 2 out.
So Diaz and Allstat continuing to have some difficulties
Marcos Díaz,
getting in sync.
viendo las señales de su queche con mucha calma.
Good pitch, good location on that ball, right on the inside edge. Back Malarchuk off.
2-2 el partido hasta el momento. Corredor en tercera con 2 out. Preparado Marcos Díaz.
1-1 on Ladislao. Hard grounder, just foul on the left side. That one's down, rattling around in the corner if it stayed fair. Just a little bit late on that one.
Y no se olvide que usted está viendo los mejores jugadores del mundo a nivel del softball molinete. Están aquí con nosotros en un solo escenario, el antiguo Yankee Stadium. Esta es la Copa Peligro Sport.
2 out. Corredor en tercera. Marcos Díaz tratando de dominar los bates de estos muchachos de los Gremlins de New York, que no están nada fácil. 2-2 el partido. Preparado de nuevo, lanza.
Foul tip over on the left side off the front of the dugout. So Ladislao just swinging away, trying to make contact, look for a pitch that he wants. That one didn't appear to be. Just staying alive. 1-2 on Malarchuk.
Peligro Sport en Santiago, Plaza Amarilis frente al home.
2 out. Marcos Díaz en el pitching box, cogiendo la señal de su queche alto.
Way high, almost hits him. Backs him off the plate, so the count runs 2-2.
La cuenta para el bateador. Dos y 2. Hay 2 out. Preparado el pitcher, cogiendo la señal de su queche con mucha calma.
Way inside, that one hits the screen, bounces back to Diaz. Coming home on the play is Avery.
El equipo de los New York Gremlins, 3 carreras por 2.
We talked about home plate being so close. Most of the balls come right back to the catcher, but that one was well wild. You see it there on the replay, just caromed off back towards Diaz. He had a long way to come from the pitching circle, and by then Brian Avery already home with the run. So the Gremlins take a 3-2 lead. Still an RBI chance for Malarchuk, but I don't think he'll mind. So the count now full, 3-2 on Ladislao. Still 2 outs. Off the plate outside, taken for a ball. So the infield single by Brian Avery plays a big role here in the 4th. That high hopper put him aboard. Managed to move around on the pass ball and wild pitch and come home on yet another wild pitch. Here's Nick Mullen. Mullen doing the catching today. USA national team player. Made maybe the best defensive play of the tournament. Off to the races is Ladislao, sliding in safely down at second base. You're looking for something to watch on the old archive footage of the games. Last night's game, Mullen from second base, diving over across the bag and catches the ball on the shortstop side on a hard line drive. So a very versatile player. Not too many players that can play infield and catch and do both well.
Anclado en segunda, 2-0, 3-2 el partido. Arriba los New York Gremlins contra los Lumberjacks.
We see Malarchuk looking over the shoulder of the taller Marco Diaz. Yesterday it was Nestor Nova, the shortstop for Team Kennedy, kept standing literally in front of all of the Gremlin runners to try and block the catcher's signs. Diaz does that pretty much with his height. high hopper. Diaz gives chase. The two middle infielders run into each other, and safely aboard is Mullins with an infield single. Let's watch the replay. It was a high hopper, somewhat like Avery's, but Marco couldn't get to it, and the two defensive infielders collided. They were, I think, waiting to see if the taller Diaz was going to make the play. So the Gremlins now with runners at the corners, still 2 out.
Pero la amenaza está clara aquí. Este bateador también tiene unos buenos batazos. Sabe colocar la pelota por donde desea. Así que está en complicaciones. El lanzador derecho Díaz. Vamos a ver cómo le va. Pero estaba ahí tomándose un poquito de agua. La calor está bien alta. Por lo menos aquí en la ciudad de Nueva York.
Diaz was heading over towards that third base dugout. Thought we might be in for a pitching change, but just grabbing a bottle of water while the infielders regroup. The Gremlins haven't had a ball out of the infield in the inning. Avery's infield single. He went around the bases on pass ball and 2 wild pitches. Malarchuk reached on the walk, stole second, now over at third on the infield single by Mullen. And Matthew Waugh with a golden opportunity here. Off to second base, it's Cole Evans sliding in. Evans coming on to run on the 2-out catcher rule. So Mullins will put the gear on, and Cole has the prior out, now at second. Malarchuk at third, and Roy. Matthew Waugh with a chance to drive home a pair.
3-2 el partido. Marcos con problemas con estos bateadores.
Ball laced up the middle for a single. Coming in to score is Malarchuk. Right behind him, Cole Evans. And he does just that. 2-run single by Matthew Waugh. Watch the replay. Ball is up in the zone. He just attacked it. And both runners off to the races, coming home to score. And it looks like that may be all for Diaz. 2 RBI single for Matthew Waugh. Malarchuk had the 2-run single earlier. 5-2 right now, Gremlins on top. And Diaz will stay in the game.
El equipo de los Gremlins demostrando que son un equipo grandes ligas.
Diaz with a couple of strikeouts for the 2 outs in the inning. Things seem to be headed towards retiring the side, but the infield single and then a flurry of mistakes, wild pitches, pass balls, and here we are, 5-2 Gremlins. Swing and a miss, foul tip. The wind's kicking up a little bit now, blowing out towards right field, and Ramaki certainly not holding back on that swing.
5-2 el partido. Arriba New York Gremlins. Preparado Marco, va para
ball downstairs and no throw on Matthew Waugh. Stolen base.
Sin mucha novedad. Bueno, informo que allá está también 5-2 el partido. Arriba la Kennedy. Preparado Marcos Díaz.
Swing and a foul tip back to the screen.
Bueno, me informan aquí que estamos a través de las redes sociales. La información llega de allá. 4 carreras por 2.
Ramaki 0 for 1 on the day. Ground out to short. First time up. Walked and then erased on a put out at second base.
4 carreras por 2. Gana la Kennedy en el diamante número 2.
Preparado el pitcher, cogiendo las señales de su catcher con mucha calma. Corredor en segunda, 2 out. 5-2 el partido.
Tried to check his swing but couldn't hold up, so down on strikes he goes. Diaz strikes out the side, but the Gremlins cash in big with 3 runs on just 2 hits. The big one, the Matthew Waugh 2-run single. We'll head to the top half of the 5th inning. The score, New York Gremlins 5, and
Cinco.
the Lumberjacks from DeQuoin, Illinois, 2. We'll be back with more great action from the COPA PELIGRO right here in New York City. Top half of the fifth inning, 3-run deficit, AWP trying to make up. 7, 8, 9 in their batting order. That spells Olheiser, Allstat, and Mike Moreno. Back to the top of the order to Turkelson if we get that far. Jack Bestgrove bearing down now, in with a nice strike. The Lumberjacks got on top early in this one, a 2-run homer by Lombardo. That lasted until the Gremlins tied the score at 2. Coming on the 2-run single by Ladislav Malarchuk. And the last frame scoring 3 runs on infield singles, pass balls, and wild pitches. Capped off by Matthew Waugh's 2-run single. 1 hopper out to Ochoa, short walk to the bag, and 1 out recorded.
Rolling frente, fácil para el inicialista aquí y fácil también para el lanzador. Acaba de fabricar el primer out al entrar. Al equipo.
Daniel Allstat, the batter, he's hitting in the 8th spot, reached on a fielder's choice in his only at-bat.
Un partido que empezó cómodo ahí al pasito, 1, 2 y entonces le fabrican 3 en la entrada anterior, llevando un total de 5 por 2. Sigue el partido en sentido, hay un out en esta parte alta del 5º episodio.
Daniel es el bateador por el equipo de los
Prize
Lumberjacks.
ball framed nicely by Mullins, but it stays upstairs for a ball.
Preparado el pitcher zurdo por el equipo de los New York Gremlins.
Swing and a miss on a rise ball. Very quiet behind the plate is Mullins. I mean quiet by his hands, and doesn't move around a lot. Gives that pitcher a nice target. Frames the pitch as well. And very, very good at pitch calling. Change up mixed in, stays upstairs. One of the very best pitch callers in the game. Two hopper out to Evans, over to Ochoa, a little bit off the bag, but Eric right there to make the tag. 2 up and down quickly for the Lumberjacks. Down to the 9 spot we go. Mike Moreno will step in. Moreno, a strikeout victim his first time up, but that was against Migliavaca. He'll get his first look at the young left-hander. Big curveball, that one in for a strike. That one started off the plate and broke right in across the middle.
Saludo especial para el Buey. Está por ahí directamente desde la ciudad de La Viga.
Good change up, that one.
Los veganos somos buenos todos.
Just slow. Bestgrove gets great movement on the pitches. I had a chance to stand behind home plate at the last tournament, and you see other people getting up close to the screen so they get a good look, and just walking away, shaking their heads, saying, wow. He has the full repertoire. Spinning rise ball on the outside edge.
Quito afuera. Los Gremlins de New York, 5, Lumberjacks 2.
Off the plate outside.
Afuera el lanzamiento.
So full count
Peligro Sport
on Moreno.
0-0 de Amsterdam Avenue, allá en Manhattan. Y en Santiago, en la Plaza Marili, frente al Home, se encuentra la tienda Peligro Sport. Parte alta del quinto episodio.
Little discussion downstairs. I think they're talking about the count. We've got it at 2-2, 3-2, 3-2.
Preparado el pitcher, cogiendo la señal de su catcher con mucha calma. Bajito el lanzamiento,
Just outside. So Moreno doing a good job at the plate. Works the walk with 2 outs. Back to the top of the order. And that'll be Turkelson coming on. Turkelson 0 for 2 on the day. Strikeout and a fly out to center. Pretty good contact on that ball. And Noka catching it a few feet in front of the center field fence. Pretty good power for a leadoff hitter. Swinging comes out of his shoes on that one.
Falló en la tercera, ahora viene a batear con un corredor en la inicial.
Valdemores, el bateador, una información de Peligro Sport.
Big curveball breaking from the center out away from the left-hander. 0-2 now.
Una información de Peligro Sport, la super tienda en New York. Peligro Sport. Preparado de nuevo.
Swing and a miss, threw that one right by Turkelson for the final out. Strikeout number 3 in 2 innings for Bestgrove. To the home half of the 5th we go. Score Gremlins 5 and the AWP Lumberjacks 2. Semifinal game, the winner advancing to the championship game at 2:30 p.m. You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back with more.
For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas. Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more. The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now. SoftballPremierTV.com. Live it on Softball Premier.
Home half of the 5th inning. It's a 3-4-5 for the Gremlins. That means Inoka, Ochoa, and Winters. On in relief of Marco Diaz is Jacob Osika. So Marco Diaz, you can close the book on him. A pretty good effort out there today. Just the last inning caused trouble with the wild pitches and the pass balls. Other than that, very well, much better than opening night for him. We had a chance to look and see Osika as well. Jacob hails from the Czech Republic, young right-hander. Lifted out into deep left center field. Both outfielders watching that one sail right on out of the ballpark. Benny Noka with a solo home run to start it off. So Benny Noka makes it a 6-2 game. First pitch swinging, always ready to face a new pitcher before he gets settled in. Osika pitched in the under-18 World Championships down in New Zealand back in 2020. Did very well, threw well the other night. That one just up in the wrong location. Here's Eric Ochoa, his first look at Jacob Osika.
de los Lumberjacks de esta forma.
Change up and a beauty. Ochoa way out in front.
Ahí al lanzador. A este lanzamiento. Preparado de nuevo, cogiendo la señal de su catcher con mucha calma.
That one's lifted high in the infield. Shortstop Carlos Comares squeezes it for the first out. The Czech Republic has really stepped up their men's program in the past decade or so. There was a time when a lot of the talent coming up this way was from New Zealand and Australia, then Argentina, with their gold medal kids in 2014 and 2019. But the Czech Republic now among the top teams, and players like Jacob Osika, one of the reasons we see Michael Holobratic here, one of the better pitchers in this circuit. We saw him in the Hill United game. Way upstairs. I think there's a tendency with young pitchers, you want to get ahead of hitters when you come into a ball game in relief, especially when you have a clean slate at the start of an inning. And a veteran like Benny Noka knows that, so he's ready. Looking for a strike, he got one, and it's a 6-2 game.
Bueno, qué recibimiento ya Peneno. Acaban de darle este tabucazo, conectándose allá y yéndose.
Winners 1 for 2 on the day, singled. Back in the second inning, came around to score.
6 carreras por 2 en esta parte baja del quinto episodio.
Coba en el pitching ball, cogiendo la señal de su catcher con mucha calma.
Hard grounder over to second, diving but not able to come up with it is Panabecker. He chased the ball all the way out to the outfield grass, but Winters down the line quickly, no chance to get him. So Winters 2 for 3 on the day now. Brian Avery will be the hitter. Brian Avery will step in. Brian had that high hopper infield single to second back in the fourth, and that's what started the rally for the Gremlins. Another slow roller coming on to make the play 6-3 is Carlos Comares, but over to second goes Winters. 2 outs, and the batter will be Cole Evans.
Pudo hacer la jugada haciendo el movimiento sin reponerse, tirar la primera. Lo contrario, por un poquito le llega aquí el corredor rapidito. Así que con un out llega a segunda base el corredor del line inicial y nosotros continuamos de este lado.
Evans 0 for 1, walked in the second and scored. A strikeout victim last time, that was to Diaz. That one sails to the backstop, and Zenon Winters sails over to third base on the play.
Winter. 6 carreras por 2. Parte baja del quinto episodio.
Way inside with that one.
Pegado el lanzamiento. Muchos peloteros vestidos de civil. Saludo especial para Francisco, oriundo de la Guarana, de San Francisco de Macorís. Amigo de nuestros hermanos, fenecido de tiempo.
Swing and a miss on a good rise ball.
Amigo personal. El Orbi. Amigo de nosotros, personal. Ayer, minuto de silencio, reconocimiento a todo lo que ha aportado al softball de la ciudad de Nueva York. Hombre que duró varias temporadas patrocinando el equipo de la Guarana.
Bouncer right up the middle for a base hit. Zenon Winters will come in with run number 7. 7-2 now.
Carrera más para el equipo de los New York Gremlins.
Watch the replay. You'll see the pitcher Osika tried to make a stab at it, but ball was behind him, so never really had a chance. Scoots up into center field for the RBI.
New York Gremlins le están viendo la pelota a todo el lanzador que se para ahí.
So here's Ladislao Malarchuk. Malarchuk 1 for 1 on the day. That 2-run single, a big one that tied the game.
Ladislao es el bateador.
Gremlins fell behind early 2-0. The only time in the tournament they have trailed in a game. Seemed a little bit flat, but Ladislao got them back in the game with that single.
Preparado Kobe.
In for a called strike.
Strike cantado, el primero lleva uno. 7-2 el partido, parte baja del quinto inning. Corredor en primera, 2 out. Preparado de nuevo al pitcher, cogiendo la señal de su cancha con mucha calma.
Change up and a beauty. Malarchuk just heads back to the dugout saying, yep, it was. Nothing he could do on that one. Great pitch by the young right-hander Jacob Osika to retire the side, but not before the Gremlins add a couple more. 7-2 New York over the AWP Lumberjacks. Early is getting late for the squad from DuQuoin. We'll be back with the 6th inning right after this.
For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas. Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more. The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now. SoftballPremierTV.com. Live it on Softball Premier.
Top half of the 6th inning, AWP tries to climb back in this one. They led 2-0 at one point, now chasing 5 runs. And the Gremlins 2, 3, and 4 in the batting order. That means Pannebecker, followed by Lombardo and Sabate. Lombardo, the bright spot for AWP with that 2-run homer back in the first inning, when things looked bright for the Illinois squad. The other semifinal game going on, the Niagara Stompers, the number 2 ranked team in the world, playing Team Kennedy. And we see a ball roll coming over the fence from that field. Looks like someone on the Stompers hit a home run, carried all the way over and almost hit Inoka. We'll try and get a score on that when we get a moment. Team Kennedy was up 2-1 at one point.
7 carreras por 2 gana el equipo de los New York Gremlins al equipo de Lumberjacks de
Little flare, it's going to fall into right field in no man's land. Unable to come up with it cleanly is, looks like Abry in right field now. Winters had started, it's Abry. A little looper, you watch it on the replay, just nobody near this one. It lands, and then he ran past it, so on to second goes Pannebecker. Good alert base running. And Francisco Lombardo with that home run we mentioned, 1 for 2, struck out last time. Foul tip. Lombardo was the first hitter for AWP to greet Jack Bestgrove, and Bestgrove struck him out. Jack has 3 strikeouts in his 2 1/3 innings of relief so far. Strike and a beauty. Big smile from the young left-hander. That ball moving all over the place, right where he wanted it. Lots of rotation, lots of snap. Young arms. Ooh, there's another beauty. Rise ball. Swing and a miss. That one just started down around the letters and up and out of the zone. So 4 strikeouts in the game for Bestgrove. It'll be Cisco Sabate to step in. Cisco 0 for 2, a ground out and a strikeout. Change up and a beauty. Over Niagara Falls on that one. The bottom just fell out. Another nice pitch on the outside edge. Nick Mullins framing it.
Preparado Cuba en el pitching box, cogiendo la señal en su catcher con mucha calma.
Just off the plate, same area, just a little further out.
Corredor en segunda, 7 carreras por 2 el partido.
Sabate doesn't bite, so a ball and 2 strikes.
Una información del Peligro Sport. Coba es el lanzador. Preparado el pitch. Picorazo lo coge.
Over the top drop, contact, the ball back to Bestgrove, over to Ochoa. 1-3 put out over on the play is Panabecker to third. So it'll be up to Juan Vala to try and get him home with 2 outs.
La ventaja que tiene el equipo de Nueva York.
Preparado Coba, va un flashito.
Little change up, a little pop fly. It'll be Malarchuk to wait for it. And the side retired for the Lumberjacks. No runs, a hit, a man left at third. Through 5.5 innings, it's 7-2 Gremlins as they try and close it out here and head to that championship game. We'll be back with more right after this. Home half of the 6th inning for the Gremlins in this semifinal game for the COPA PELIGRO tournament here in New York City, playing in the shadow of Yankee Stadium. Jacob Osica from the Czech Republic came on in relief of Marco Diaz, back in the circle in this inning. It's Mullen, 9-1-2, I'm sorry. Mullen leading it off, Roy Waugh on deck. Little flare, that one's going to fall in just beyond the dirt of the infield. A single for Mullins, his second of the day, so he with 2 hits in the game.
Una vez más ahí llegan al ataque el equipo de New York Gremlins sobre los lanzamientos de su equipo contrario, los Lumberjacks de Illinois.
Skipper Greg Leather coming over to the home plate umpire to announce the pinch runner for Nick Mullen. See if we can get a look and tell who that is. I'm guessing maybe Tani Mumu. Wait till he turns his back and see the number.
Roy es el bateador. Corredor en primera, no hay out. Una información de Peligro Sport. Preparado Coba.
Matthew Waugh will step in. Matthew with a 2-run single his last trip to the plate. 1 for 3 on the day, a ground out to the pitcher and a strikeout to go with the single.
En el primero, café con leche. En el segundo, hit en el tercero, batea por 4ª vez en este partido. Preparado.
Flies ball way upstairs.
Se movió Mazámola para allá, hubo problemas con el equipo Kennedy.
Change up and a good one on the inside edge, but not quite across the plate. Still trying to pick up the number on our pinch runner. It looks like number 2. That would be Tane Mumu. who ran for Mullins.
Preparado el pitch.
Liner into right field, hard shot around second on his way to third, and stopping at third it is Tane Mumu. Nice piece of hitting by Matthew Waugh. His second hit of the game. So back-to-back singles by Mullins and Matthew Waugh. And the heart of the order coming up for the Gremlins. Remaki will be next.
Daniel con su lanzador, a ver qué dice, tranquilo que todavía falta mucho, déjalo al paso, pero el equipo de New York Gremlins no coge esa, no está por eso, no, está por terminar la situación en la entrada. Ya esperemos en la narración.
Gracias, Topo 15. El bateador Girón batea por cuarta.
Remaki 0 for 2, ground out and a strikeout. He walked in the third. Down the middle with that one for a called strike. Matthew Waugh with good speed over at first. Likewise, Tane Mumu at third.
4-3 en el primero, 1-4 en el segundo. Café con leche en el tercero, batea por cuarta vez.
Change up and off on the pitch is Matthew Waugh. So runners at second and third now for the Gremlins.
Importante ese robo. Que es lo que a ellos les gusta, hacer movimiento, a ver robo, a ver esto y de todo, porque son equipos rápidos, un equipo que también tiene potencia en el bate. Quieren aprovechar cualquier movimiento.
That one's lifted out into deep right field, back towards Yankee Stadium. 3-run home run, a majestic one by Jerome Remaki. Watch the replay when we see it. You'll see him sit back and just pivot that weight forward. Boom. Get a nice shot of Yankee Stadium, I suspect. That one way back. Got it all. So that'll be the ball game, folks. Final score in this one, New York Gremlins 10 and the AWP Lumberjacks 2. The run rule applies. And an exclamation mark put on this one by Jerome Remaki. We'll be back with a championship game to follow. The Stompers and Team Kennedy still playing in the other semifinal game. Championship set to go at 2:30, but that may change depending on where that other one finishes. So stay tuned or come on back to the Gremlins Network. We'll be back for the broadcast of that one. For the crew here, for all Luciano Lofrano, Softball Premier TV, his wife and camera person Carol. We'll see you at 2:30.
For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas. Live games, news, tournaments, and much more. The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a premier member now.